What's up with it? You already know it's Stally 330 BCG General. Cutthechat.co.uk. Always holding it down. London town. What's up, my GG?
Welcome to another edition of Cut the Chat. I'm the dread with the lisp. With the lisp, with the sexy lisp. You know what? I'm sat over here on my left.
A lisp is sexy.
Of course it's sexy.
Since when?
Since the girls follow that, man, innit? Anyway, on my left.
Purely putting on a little weight for 2015. I don't know if you noticed it yet, but it's coming true. It's coming true. I've got to wait for the six pack to come out before I really unveil. See me?
Usual suspect over here.
I know DJ Ace. Yeah.
And the darkest actor in the world.
You're darker than me.
I'm
bro.
not an actor. I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. What's going on?
How you?
I'm alright.
How was Australia?
Australia was fantastic.
Really?
I got bitten by a spider.
How does that happen?
A spider gets when you bite
What,
it.
then small spider?
Well, you know what? I felt a sting on my arm. Looked up and I saw the spider hanging down.
You got bitten by a spider?
I got bitten by a spider. No lie. It felt like I felt the venom running through me. Like I felt like an animal for about an hour. Went to the gym, tried to lift something, realised it's not a film. Didn't work. Didn't have the power. Didn't have the power. But anyway, as you can see, we've got a very heavily bearded gentleman to my right. Very heavily. If you don't know who this guy is, then you know you must have been in the outback with me for the last how long. Introduce yourself, young man.
Stally 330 BCG MMG as usual. You know what it is.
What's going on? Welcome to the UK, Baba.
Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate
You
it.
were just saying off camera, this ain't your first time to the UK.
No, it's not.
How many times have you been here?
I can't. I don't know an exact number, but it's close to 10 times.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it that keeps bringing you back here over here?
Oh man, just the support, the love that I get, you know what I mean? Like UK showed me so much love every time it gets bigger and better. You know, like I remember the first time I performed probably in front of like 100 people or something like that. But now the last show might have had about close to 1,000 or something like that.
Lee actually said he hosted a show that you did a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, Brick Lane. 5. I don't know if you remember.
What was the show called?
I can't remember.
How was it?
But it was good. No, it was good.
It was good? Yeah.
The turnout was good.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like every time, like I'm trying to figure out that time because it's been a number of times. I even performed at Cargo like in 05 or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. So this was even before I like put out a mixtape. But I was just moving around. I came over with a group of guys that was doing music. I think Dizzy Rascal, Kano, and those guys was just popping off with the grind and stuff like that. So it was an interesting time, you know what I mean? Like so I always enjoy to come back and see the growth of the grime scene, the hip hop scene over here. Soul music is definitely heavy over here. It's a great feel over here.
You're not a new artist then, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, this."
I'm not. I mean, I am new.
Okay.
In a sense.
But
I've been grinding for a minute, and I've been taking the music serious since like I won't say serious, but I've been doing it full time as like a job, if that's what you want to call it, since like '09.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a sense, I am fairly new. You know, I started in '09, got signed to Maybach in like 2012, I think it was. 12. So.
Okay. You're from Ohio.
Yes.
Now, like, from over here, when we think about where artists are from in the States in terms of rappers, it's like New York, LA, Atlanta, probably another few south.
Right.
You never hear from artists from Ohio.
Exactly.
Like, who is the biggest export from Ohio? That we know in general. Who would we know?
Apart from you.
In life, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
You know, the greatest basketball player on the planet.
No other
Arguably.
No, the greatest on the planet. There ain't no argument. We're speaking facts only. But musically, hip hop, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
Yeah. Cleveland. Yeah. So Bone Thugs and Harmony would be the biggest hip hop artist.
So how does a rapper from Ohio get noticed by Rick Ross and signed to MMG?
That's a good question. But it's that grind, you know, like I said, the work that I put in, being able to come over here since '05 and perform even before I've had mixtapes out or an album of any sort. And, you know, he took notice to that grind, you know, just I was in Beijing, I was on MTV, BET, you know, just hustling, grinding, putting out music videos. Having dope artwork, you know what I mean?
So he found you. You didn't go and find him?
No. He found me, you know. But that's what I'm saying. Off of those things that I did, I was able to really, you know, brand myself and put, you know, and the music speaks for itself. When you got good music, you know, people will find you.
I wanted a better story.
No, so did that.
I was in KFC and I started rapping.
And he said rap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it wasn't one of the vibes, you know what I mean? I didn't do the, you know, the like Big Sean rap for Kanye outside the stage. I didn't do that, you know what I mean?
How did you fund? You've been coming to the UK since 2005. How are you funding all that?
That's again just out of my own pocket, you know, just stacking up bread and making those trips. And you know, somebody, when Ross sees that, I think that's even better than rapping for him. When, you know, somebody sees that you are taking initiative and you're, you know, funding your own movement. And you know, I was flying out to Jamaica shooting videos and with Currency, and you know, putting, like, again, having music videos on MTV, BET. So just to be visible for him to know, like, yo, who's this dude that's popping up in these places with no label, no backing, you know? And he witnessed the grind and was like, yo.
Was it like no hesitation? Was it just he's on it?
It was basically that. You know, he hit my phone. He texted me, then he called me. We spoke on the phone briefly. The next day I flew down to meet him. And then the rest was just like, it was history, because once I met him, it was so natural. It felt really welcoming. It felt like, you know, family. Everybody that was around him also, you know, accepted me as the same, like, brothers, you know what I mean? And it was just like, let's make it happen.
I would say that I don't feel like the people that listen to Stally are Rick Ross fans.
Yeah, I don't.
You have totally different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, do you feel like, how did you feel about fitting into that label situation? Because I wouldn't say that your fans are probably the same as Meek Mill fans or Wale fans. I think Stally fans are a totally different type of hip-hop.
Yeah. My fan is definitely a unique fan, you know. So it was kind of, for them even, it was shocking. Like, what are you doing? But I feel like,
because I know what, like, on the internet now,
yeah, of course,
they was, of course,
you know.
I know what I thought when Mobb Deep signed to G.
Yeah, you hear that? It was the same chatter, you know, like, yo, what are you doing? Or you think that's right? Or I hope they do them right. But, you know, sometimes you got to fight within the system, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to kind of be that person to bridge the gap, you know, and I felt like that it was time. And being that Ross is such a has a broad, like, ear for music, and he likes all type of music, and he saw the vision. So anybody who believes in me is definitely going to get my attention and help, and that's going to be like, yo, this person can help me because this person believes. But it's an uphill battle.
Why would you say that?
Just because it's the preconceived notion of, like, Maybach is this and Stally is this. Right. You know what I mean? So for my fans, they're automatically like, what are you doing over there? And then their fans are automatically like, what is he doing over here? You know, so it doesn't. It's something that you kind of got to get people to buy into, right, so to say, because it's not that I lack something that they have. It's just that what I do is different. So it's warming people up to pay attention to what I'm doing.
Do you have conversations with Ross about that?
Yeah, some,
he
but he just say keep doing. He's like, man, you iconic, you a legend. Like, wow, you just got to keep fighting. You know, Ross is someone who fought for 12 years before he really got to where he was. So just to see that and understand that it does take time sometimes. Like, some people can come out automatically star. Some people, it takes a little while, you know, so I'm just fighting right now, you know what I mean? But it feels good because every person that comes along through the journey, or every fan gain, it's a beautiful thing to see that growth.
What is Ross like as a label boss? Is he very hands-on? Is he a approachable? Could you get him on the phone now?
Yeah, he's definitely
Okay.
approachable. He's definitely, you know, he listens, you know what I mean? And, but he lets us, you know, kind of have our free will to do what we want to do, you know, but he definitely going to give us his advice, and he's been in the game so long, so he knows what works and, what's going to help us. So he's always going to give us that knowledge and give us that, information to take if we do, or if we don't, you know, but it's there.
For people that don't know you,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got to admit, I was one of them. But I like these people know. If you ask me,
Just know
Who's
about baby
out?
face.
I'm not.
Baby face,
I'm
you know
not
that? Keep sweat.
I'm not.
Keep sweat.
You go into my car now. That's what I'm listening to. I'm listening to like an old school CD.
Sweat.
You understand? And like all this new stuff. Like I don't understand how people have the time to kind of keep up with who's new that's me. So, but I just come from work from cutting one of my clients, and I said to him like, yeah, them lot in the barbershop, they're interviewing Stally right now, and he just turned around, he goes, blood, don't sleep on Stally. So I'm like, but I thought, okay, cool, like I won't, and it was like, nah, he's nice, but obviously there's a clear difference with the kind of rap that you do and the kind of rap that Rick Ross and them do. So
Yeah.
how would you describe what you do for people that don't really know, haven't really heard about you?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, like, cause what I do isn't that different from what they do. Like, as far as concepts, or not, I won't even say concepts, but what we talk about is very similar. It's just my outlook on it, or my take on it might be different. You know, like, some
I think
things.
your verses have more depth.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'll be honest. So like, you know, I've been like listening to your music and like listening to the Maybach albums and like
Yeah,
how
so-
you put all the different people together.
Right.
Like I feel like what you say has more. I don't know. You tend to look at it from a more deeper level.
Yeah,
Would you
exactly.
say
And
that?
I think that's just me naturally just being myself, and the way I see things. Like, I look so far into it. It's not like somebody might see a car, but I'm going to break down the car, the interior, the engine, like what gas I'm going to put into the car. I'm going to give you every example, every little detail. And I think that's just what it is. It's real descriptive. Like, I'm from the hood too. You know, I've seen a lot of things that they rap about, or they've seen as well. You know, like I've grew up around dope dealers and killers and pimps and hustlers and all that too. But it's just like I was kind of like the guy that just watched and learned. You know, the observer. You know what I mean? So I guess what to say is I'm kind of giving you the way to look at it without being a part of it, if that makes sense.
So you're not a killer.
No. Nah.
But how with those
On the
albums-
mic, I'm a killer.
Right, I'm cool with
with
that.
those, with those three
Yeah.
Maybach albums, how do you decide who goes on what songs?
So, like with Self-Made, Ross does a lot of the putting songs together or getting beats, and sometimes the tracks might have a hook on it, it might have verses on it, it might just be an idea, and if you feeling it, you can just jump on it. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, whatever you feel, go ahead and jump on it. He gives you that, that range to be like, I'm gonna do this. Sometimes he might hear like a record where he's like, man, you and such might sound good on this, and then he'd be like, okay, you down, and then you might jump on that. But that's pretty much how it works.
How are you guys like as a family, like, and what is it? Because we saw Meek and Wale.
Yeah.
Like, what was that situation like? What was that like for you? Like, you're part of the team.
For me,
your
I
brothers
was,
are going at it, like,
I'm looking at
was
it
you
like,
just what?
yeah, I'm kind of like, wow, like, because it threw me off guard as well. Like, I seen it how everybody else saw it, just online. But, knowing how passionate we all are as individuals and as artists, you can see where it will bump heads. We all support each other. We all want each other's support. It's always going to be a competition, but it's always going to be friendly at that. You know what I mean? It's never like we wishing bad on somebody. We all want each other to be successful and succeed. But, yeah, so that's all I can really say about that situation. But again, as friends and as brothers or as a family, you're gonna beef with your friends and your family. It's just going to happen.
You know what's funny? Yesterday, so we're in the barber shop, and Dizzy was here. He's getting his hair cut,
Okay.
and we're just chatting to him, and so we've kind of said to him, we just stuck it on him. We're like, listen, what's your top 5 rappers
Mhm.
of all time?
Ooh.
Of all time, dead or alive? And he tried not to answer, but he kind of bent his arm a bit,
Right.
you know. So I'm throw that out to you. Like, what's
Yeah.
your top 5 rappers?
See, it's like, when I get that question, it changes all the time because
What's today? What do you feel like today?
today at this, and when this question comes, I just go with the 5 that pops up, and some stay the same, like Andre 3000, Nas, Jay-Z, Scarface, Biggie.
See, there's 2 in there that Andre 3000
Mm-hmm.
and Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was a crazy Scarface fan
Right.
in the 90s, and Andre 2000, I can see he's
2000.
so Andre 3000. Andre,
That's his little brother.
that's his little brother. Like Andre 3000, it's like he kind of won't jump out into your top 5. Into most people,
He's
top
in
5.
every rapper's top 5.
But
He should be, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
He's in every rapper's top 5.
Cause he's a rapper's rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like he's just like everything, lyrics, flows, storytelling, concepts, making it visual, like vivid, like everything that you can imagine that you would want an artist to do, he can do that.
So is there anyone that you haven't worked with that you would want to work with?
Yeah, him. Even a Nas.
You've not worked with Nas?
No, I haven't. Yeah, no, I haven't. But I would love to work with him. That's pretty much it.
But what's it like to be around, like, to go from, like, an artist that's, you're sort of grafting, you're in England, you're in Japan,
Yeah.
everywhere working hard, trying to build a name for yourself. What's it like to be, like, on that level, and then the next minute, you are at places with Nas.
Yeah.
you're in the studio with Pharrell. You're like, what does that feel like?
Man, it's crazy. Like it's a humbling feeling because it's like, man, like all the hard work pays off, and I say humbling because you like, man, like I'm really here with, some of your favorite artists. You be in the same party or the same studio or the same building or whatever, and you get to converse with these people, and you just like, it's kind of like, man, you step back and look at yourself or look at how hard you work and appreciate everything, and for them even to appreciate you or to say, yo, I love what you're doing, keep doing your thing, like you got it or whatever, that also keeps you going, keeps you, positive and like, man, even though it's a slow burn, they see the potential and see where it can go, and they giving you those encouraging words like, keep going.
Over the last couple of weeks, like the UK's gone mad because we kind of been getting some major co-signs.
Yeah.
Kanye West and Skepta, and Drake's been talking about Wiley and Skepta.
How you guys feel about that?
I mean, we're excited, but
Okay.
should
That's
we be
good.
excited? Let's be
That-
honest.
yeah,
here,
that's
like,
what I'm asking. I'm
in-
asking you guys.
Like as a rapper from the States,
Yes.
do you think a UK MC could really be top tier over there?
Of course, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really,
So
with
why-
the accent and everything.
I think good music is good music. You know what I mean? Like, look at Bob Marley.
So why hasn't it happened then? What is taking it so long?
I think it's that thing that I go through, the same thing. It's getting used to. People still getting used to my voice, my flow, my delivery. It's just something that happens. Like, some people just got it, and it's like, it's simple to get, and some people would take some time. It's like, I compare things to, like, say math, for instance. Like, some kids be like, I hate math because they just don't understand it. So the first thing they want to do is crumble up the paper and get it away from me. But once they understand it and somebody takes the time to really kind of nurture them through it, then they're like, man, math isn't that bad. And now they want to share it with you and help you with your homework. And it's the same thing. It's like with music, like people just got to get used to and warm up to you, and then once it, like, people do, they'll start sharing it more and more with other people, and it will be more and more accepted. But I think it just hasn't been shared enough.
I've heard the argument, there's been like loads of Twitter banter, but I've heard the argument that why are we always looking at America? Why do we need the cosign from Drakes and Kanye's? What do you think?
I don't think you do. Like, I think that, especially with grime is your music. That's something you guys created. That's something that you guys, that complements your sound, your accent, your delivery. So it's kind of like if it was reggae music, like Americans is really, unless you're from West Indian culture, then it's not really natural for you to do, speak patois or do like that music. So it's the same thing. So that's why I said that's a genre, that's something new and something fresh that the world hasn't yet to explore and that you guys are introducing. So you really don't need a cosign for that. Why do you need a cosign for it from somebody who doesn't do it?
True. So with all that said, which UK artists, you've been coming here since 2005, who would you say, like, there must be one or two artists that you think, oh, they're decent, they're from the UK?
I mean, there's many, Dizzy is nice, Kano, Skepta, you said, the new kid, Stormzy. There's a kid, Jay Prince, that's really nice. I don't know if y'all familiar with him. But yeah, those are just to name a few, like, they got it.
Are you working with any artists while you're over here?
Yeah, I was in the studio with Jay Prince, and I was in the studio with Nick Brewer. Nick Brewer. I was in the studio, the Heavy Trackers, like some producers. Michael Angelo, he did some production and engineering on Sam Smith's album, like Grammy nominated. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent over here, especially when it comes to the production side. Like, a lot of musical guys over here.
You've been here like 10 times, I'm pretty sure. Is there a lady here that you... I know, like, there's rappers that come here a lot.
No,
and they got one.
There's one. I remember one. I used to see this girl, her best friend. That was Timbaland's thing. That was Timbaland's UK thing. Whenever Timbaland came to the UK,
that was his girl.
That was his thing.
I don't have a thing. I mean, I'm not in the facility. I'm not where the things are. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but
little man, where the things at?
I mean, I know they out here, but nah, I don't. But yeah, I just be chilling, and most of the time I'm in and out, so I don't have time to really, mingle anyway. But nothing. Like, it's usually
chicken shop.
But this time, but I am happy because this past time that since I've been here so far, I've been here since last Friday. I'm here until Saturday, so I've had like a full week and some change here, and I've got to be in the studio, work with the different producers and artists that I named, get to sit here with you guys, do interviews, and I've been doing a lot of press, throughout the week, so that's like enough for me, Okay. I've been having a good time with that.
What can we expect next? Is there another album in the works?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm an artist, so I'm always in the studio, always working on new music. So I won't say album yet, but because we still gonna push Ohio, still making sure that gets to where it needs to get to.
How did you feel about the numbers that you did? Or do numbers matter to you?
Numbers didn't matter to me, especially not with this one, because it was like I had to get that. I had to like bust that first nut. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to just get that out. You know what I'm saying? Like because it was a lot, being coming over to Maybach and just like we said, the chatter and just like the time it took me to put out that album. So it was kind of like, man, let's just get this out of here. Let's get all that pressure and anxiety, whatever it is, off and let the people enjoy. And I feel like it's a proper introduction, sales or no sales, people have been taken to it. It's critically acclaimed, great press, people are loving it. And the shows show that, because people are coming out supporting the music. They know the music when I'm performing, and that's all that matters. So get the album, whether you want to purchase it or download it, get it. You know what I mean? Just listen to it because it's definitely worth it. And, you know, the next project is going to be even bigger.
So what, you're promoting the downloads, even illegal?
I mean, just get the music.
No.
I'll never promote the downloads. I definitely want the support, but I just want people's ears. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's gonna come back some way. You gonna hear it. You might have downloaded it, but you gonna pay $20 for a show ticket. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's more than the album.
So are you doing anything over here right now? When's your next live? When's your next show?
Well,
in the UK or
hopefully I get to come back soon. You know, I'm trying to come back, do some of the festivals. I heard the Wireless Festival is real big out here.
Around the corner as well. So
okay.
You can land at the barbershop, get a quick
exactly, and then shoot over there. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, but yeah, I definitely want to do that. I had the show this past weekend at Shapes. It was amazing, you know, great turnout, great energy. So, yeah, whenever I'm welcome back, I'm back, you know.
You're always welcome here.
Yeah.
DNL's, the door's always open.
Appreciate that for sure.
We gotta mention the beard. You and Ross have a competition on.
Oh no competition, man. You see this beard? Who compete? ain't no competition, man.
You see, when I was in Australia, I was in Australia a couple of weeks ago with my daughter. And for like a week straight, like I had a little something here, and she's like, "Dad, you need to cut that off. You need to cut that off." And
Get smooth.
yeah, I cut it off, and now I'm kind of. I would have been there. Hey, this is your fault.
Nah, yeah, man. So no competition though, but yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, no competition.
You, Rick Ross, Freeway.
Yes.
Who else is there?
I think they're like
you know
famous
Free
ones.
Yeah. I think that, yes. And Freeway was one of the first to introduce it, you know, coming from Philly and being of Islamic faith and things like that. So he came in and definitely had that going. And Ross, you know, as well, came through with the beard, which is like a Miami thing.
But your one's
well.
a little bit different though.
Yeah. Mine's is just it's luxurious, you know. It's on a whole nother level, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just giving them props, you know what I'm saying? But you know, when you talk about mine, it's like you said, it's a different level, you know.
You are a Muslim.
Yes.
Is it hard to practice being a Muslim?
Of course, man. It's hard to walk and be a Muslim, you know what I'm saying? Like chew gum and but you know, it's hard because, you know, with faith, when you have faith in anything, and especially a higher being, and you trying to live right and on a righteous path, it's always struggles and temptations and just things. So I try to do the best as I can and be the best person, best father, best brother, best, you know, son, whatever I can be to my friends and my family, and also let that reflect in the music, and hopefully it touches people in a way where it sheds a positive light to change someone's life or to want to do better. I know when I listen to music, a lot of artists that I name did that to me. You know, they had their records, but they also always had records like Biggie, Scarface, Andre 3000, Nas, Jay. They always had a record to touch your soul, touch you somewhere, to make you want to be a better person. So that's what I try to do with the music as well.
You got this real kind of calming, humble persona, but are you ever attracted by the ratchetness? I mean, like, I'm sitting here wanting to ask you about Nicki and me, and maybe how you feel about.
Nah, you know, I like a little bit of ratchet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I said, I come from the hood, man. So you know, ratchet is, man. Have you seen where I came from? This is another definition of ratchet. Youngstown girls is ratchet, you know.
So shout out to see you in the blog soon.
Shout out to Bandcamp. Nah, I'm just saying that. I'm saying that because my DJ, he from Youngstown, Ohio, so it's a lot of. But nah, yeah, man, I you know, I embrace it all.
So are you on Twitter looking at the beefs and?
yeah, I pay attention to everything that's going on. I ain't gonna lie, you know, but I try not to get in tune with it, and some of it is silly, you know what I mean, and uncalled for, but. You know, it's the way of life. You know.
Did you congratulate Meek on acquiring
Nicki?
I haven't actually. You know what's so crazy is that we've been so busy and doing our thing. I haven't even bumped into him since that news. You know, and then being over here, I'm gonna be over here for.
Was it surprising to you?
It was. I mean, it's not surprising because it's hip hop and it's Meek. Yeah.
It's not surprising because you knew.
No, but you know, shout out to me. Shout out to Nikki. You know, it's a beautiful young black couple.
Anybody like in the public eye that you may have your eye on?
Nah, man. You know, I'm tied up. You know, I got a you know, beautiful lady at home, a beautiful daughter. You know, I'm happy. I'm enjoying life.
How is your
That must be hard.
Yeah.
It is.
Dude, that must.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
Yeah. That's better.
No. See. But the thing is, I'm not even saying that to correct myself, but it really isn't, because I mean, I've been around, I've seen everything. It's like, it's really nothing out there, you know what I mean? It's headaches out there, you know? So I have a good girl. She's held me down from day one, you know, and very supportive. We have a lovely daughter. So it's, you know, I'm happy, like, for real. And that's being honest. That's not for the cameras.
TMT won't be exposing.
Yeah, nah. Unless they expose me and her.
Stanley, it's been a pleasure.
Yes,
Mama.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
Definitely.
so much.
Yes. Appreciate you guys, man. Definitely.
I was gonna ask him one more thing.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
No, this is just for the people.
Yeah.
Like, just for the people, not for me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you've made it in hip hop in regards to, you know, being out there, being signed, you know, being recognized, you know, worldwide. You know, and over here, I mean, even walking through this barbershop,
right,
we'll probably have 15, 20 young aspiring rappers,
right,
you know, every day. Is there anything that you can kind of say, coming from where you've come from, to the young UK rappers, you know, producers, DJs, you know, anyone that's in the music industry, any kind of advice to give them?
I would definitely stay at it. Don't get deterred in any way, you know. Don't let anyone pull you away from your dreams. It's hard, you know, and then especially when you coming from a place that isn't known for hip hop. I know I'm from the States, and it's not a hotbed for hip hop, you know, where I'm from, and I'm from a small town. So I just say stay focused, stay grinding. You make great music, it's going to be heard regardless. That's a fact, especially with Instagram and Twitter, YouTube, all the blogs, you know, like, be visual, put yourself out there, and you know, give people a chance to discover you, because once you get that opportunity, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. And that's all I can really say. And stay persistent, stay consistent.
Consistent and consistent.
Yeah.
Also, one more question.
Yeah.
So, you know, rappers are lasting longer now. You know.
Yeah. What age? Yeah.
Kanye's 40 plus.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's pushing 50. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Do you want to carry on rapping to your 40, 50, or like, do you have aspirations to do other stuff?
No, I definitely have aspirations to do more. You know, like, I'm heavy into, you know, fashion and you know, music, of course, but I don't want to sound like the cliche rapper when they say, oh, everybody get into fashion or everybody gets into acting and things like that. But those are things that I would definitely love to be a part of. But I also would love to be a part of helping, you know, like you said, those young youths that trying to make it and that have a hard time being discovered in these type of areas, because there's so much talent like that. I would love to reach into these little hotbeds and these small towns and areas and find these people to present them to the world, because I feel like they have to be heard, and hip hop needs that story, you know, because like you said, when you think of hip hop, you're thinking of New York, LA, Atlanta, Chicago probably, and then outside of Miami maybe. Outside of that, you're not thinking of anything in between, and there's so much talent hidden in between, and you know, they don't get the respect that they deserve, even such as myself. Like, somebody might be like, you from Ohio? They ain't even giving me a chance. Like, seriously, that's how it is. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that, and then me calling my album Ohio, they really like, I ain't listening to that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to do that. You got to put your foot in the game and let people know, like, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. You're not taking nothing from me. Get used to it.
It's been a pleasure.
So get used to this face.
We can keep It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.